Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, a bit of a different video. I'm going to be making noodles with Chinese chicken and a sweet and sour buffet style sauce. Now this was served probably about 3 to 4 people, the recipe that I'm doing, but basically this is just a rough recipe, so you can, make stuff up as you go along and follow your own sort of things. But basically what you're going to need is, for your sweet and sour sauce, you're going to need vinegar, sugar, water and corn flour. That's basically all that consists of. On red food colouring as well, which I'll have to get out. And then for your noodles, you're going to need, well obviously you're going to need noodles. It really depends on where you shop for the size of the packets of your noodles. So this will probably do about 3 to 4 people, but it obviously depends. Bean sprouts, an onion, and then dark soy sauce, sesame oil, hoisin sauce, that's just a bit of oil to cook the onions and that in, salt, garlic granulates, white wine vinegar, and a beef stock cube or an oxo cube. I mean, you can add more vegetables in if you want to as well, but I'll just use bean sprouts and an onion. And then for the Chinese chicken, you'll need a Chinese marinade sauce, which looks a bit like this. You can definitely buy it from Morrison's and probably other stores which is similar to Morrison's. And then you'll obviously need chicken as well, preferably sort of chicken breast, something like that. So firstly what you're actually going to do is you're going to want to marinate the chicken. Trim off any bad bits of the chicken if you want to do that, then cut up the chicken and then add that chicken into a bag and add the Chinese marinade and mix that round. Then what you're going to do after that is just put that in the fridge for a bit. I think there is instructions on the back of how to marinate it, but yeah, put it in the fridge for a bit and let it sort of marinate itself. I don't know. My mum's assisting us, she did that bit. I'm doing the sweet and sour sauce and the noodles. Right, so next you're going to want to do the sweet and sour sauce. Right, I'm using a cup, probably about half a cup, but fill it with water. Get a pan which looks something like that and add your water, and you're going to want about half of that filled with vinegar, so probably about to there, about 1/3 to 1/2, and add that in, and then about half a cup of sugar to a cup of sugar, so about that much sugar, and add that in. And then you're just going to want to put the gas on and just let it boil basically. Then once this is boiled, you're going to add corn flour, and we'll get to that in a couple of seconds for you, but probably quite a few minutes for me. Right, so that's boiling there. Now for the cornstarch, corn flour, what you want to add is about 1/3 of a tablespoon, just not very much at all, because we did this the first time and it completely messed up and left with a lump, so you've got to do this bit really carefully. Now you add a little bit of water to that, and just make sure there's no lumps, and if there's lumps then just do it again.
Are you going to add that to this now?
Yeah.
Take it off the heat when you add it.
Alright.
Because that might have caused it.
Yeah, take it off the heat when you add it, because we reckon that might have caused it. Right, keep stirring and then add the corn flour and water mixture. And it'll go a bit cloudy and then it should start to clear up. That's much better, that's what you want. And then put it back onto the heat.
You got to stir all the time.
Yeah. So you're just gonna keep letting that boil again, and if it's not thick enough, just add a bit more of the cornstarch in, and then you're gonna add the red food colouring in a bit, and that's basically what makes it look like the buffet style sauce. That is the reason why it is bright red. I assume everyone knows what I'm on about when I'm talking about the sweet and sour buffet style sauce. We've just added a little bit more of the corn flour because I don't think we added quite enough. But yeah, we're just going to wait for that to boil and then add the red food colouring. And then once it's done, you can either put it in the fridge or just leave it out to cool. When we put it in the fridge, it basically turned into a glumpy mess. So I don't know whether you're actually meant to do that or not, but it's up to you. Right, now that that's boiling, you're going to add a bit of the red food colouring. There you go. And you're just going to transfer it. That is quite red, like I might have added a little bit too much food colouring. Kind of looks like jam or something. But yeah, you're just going to transfer it to some sort of jar or container or bowl like that, and just leave it to cool down and let it simmer down. Right, just a note with the sweet and sour sauce. If we obviously haven't made that much, but if you do want to make more, then you can just double up the numbers. It's usually about a third to half a cup of vinegar, cup of water, and about just under a cup of sugar. Right, now what you're going to do is you're going to want to start cutting up your onion. Depends how you like it, but I usually chop it up into fairly large pieces, about sort of that size pieces, and just continue doing that. And once you chop the onion, you're going to want to get some oil in a pan, and you're going to start want to cooking your chicken. You can just cook the chicken with the noodles, but you're going to lose a lot of the marinade because it's going to get mixed in with all the sauces of the noodles, and it's just going to basically create one big sauce. So we like to cook it separately to keep all the flavour of the marinade. Just done some spring rolls there as well, but they're just out of the packet. You can do them if you want to, but you don't have to. Your chicken's going to look like it's just been soaked in a blood bath. Then you're just going to, as long as it looks like that, just dump it into the wok or pan or whatever you're using and just start cooking it. You'll want to obviously separate it so that it doesn't all get mushed up together. Really, you might need 2 people to cook this recipe, because unless you just put the chicken into the pan with the noodles, because otherwise you're going to have to keep stirring the chicken and sorting out the noodles at the same time. Now I'm going to start doing my stuff. So, bit of oil in the pan, and add your onions in. You're going to cook them for a little bit, and then add in your bean sprouts. If you cook the onions and bean sprouts for about 2 to 3 minutes, then add in your noodles. Probably about 6 to 7 minutes this will take, because the noodles, they usually take about 4 minutes to cook. Don't buy packets from the co-op, they're a bit shit. Right, next you're going to add in, I'd say most of this packet of bean sprouts. So about that much. Now let them cook for probably about 1 to 2 minutes, and then add the noodles in. Right, next what you're going to do is you're going to boil some water and add in this stock cube. Something like this will do. Whilst you're adding your stock cube to the mixture of water, add the noodles into here. Really, you could do the stock cube before, I think we forgot, to be fair. So add 1 of the bags of noodles to there, then add the other one, or most of it. Well, I'll add nearly all of it. And basically you're going to want to start adding some of the sauces, so you're going to want to add a bit of dark soy sauce, probably about 1 tablespoon maybe, but we don't really measure, I just tend to add maybe a little bit more. Right, then you're going to want to add just all the rest of the sauces basically, so not all of this, it depends how like saucy you want it, but probably about half of this. Right, then you're going to add some of the hoisin sauce. Again, it depends how much you want to add, but probably about a tablespoon. You're probably going to want to add about half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of this, depending on how much you like nuts or no, sesame oil, whatever this is. I don't particularly like it that much, but it does give it a nice, bit of a nice flavour if you just add a little bit. Then you're going to add a tiny little bit of white wine vinegar. You don't have to have this, but it just makes it a little bit better, I guess. Bit of garlic granulates. Give that a mix. A little bit of sugar. And then a bit of salt, because buffets are known for having a lot of salt in, because that's what makes you buy drinks. That's how they make their money most of the time. Then just keep stirring it, and that will probably be about done now. Right, so that is my own recipe that I created with help from random sources online. And that is basically as close as I can make to the noodles that you'll find at your local Chinese restaurant, Chinese takeaway or Chinese buffet. And then obviously you've got the sweet and sour sauce to add to that. But yeah, that is a canny good meal right there.